When I first started doing YouTube, I wondered what would need to happen for me to go from feeling like someone that just puts videos on YouTube to feeling like a YouTuber. Is it a certain number of subscribers or views? Is it making a little bit of money from it even? Or is it simply just reading your comments and feedback and knowing that I am helping, motivating and entertaining you? It turns out it's none of those things. It's this. When people send you free stuff, and very cool free stuff, which as everyone knows is the best type of free stuff to get. So this is an Unagi scooter, and a pretty expensive one as well. If you're thinking Unagi, where have I heard that before?
Unagi is a state of total awareness.
So Unagi it is. Better than Smelly Cat, I guess. This thing sells for £899 on the website, and the photographs, black looks very cool. White looks quite cool in a sort of iPhone kind of way. Red looks fine. They sent me blue. I'm not sure. So this is the Model One E500. The specs on this are around 12 kilograms in weight, aluminium and carbon construction, and in theory a top speed of around 16 miles an hour, which is about 25 kilometers per hour. The blue's not bad actually. It has a theoretical range of around 15 miles and twin 250 watt motors, hence the E500 name. Handlebars. Now, interestingly, the website also says that it can do 20 miles per hour maximum, which is over 32 kilometers per hour. So I'm assuming is probably a mistake, or maybe what it can do downhill with a tailwind before something dramatic happens. Who knows what. Okay, there is a bit of building to do here, but it looks pretty minor. I've got 4 bolts and an Allen key. I've not seen any instructions. Oh, found them. Right, how hard can this be? That went together pretty simply, just 4 little bolts to hold the handlebar on. And it looks pretty good. Jen has just popped in and said that, as I think, actually the blue looks better in real life than it does in the pictures. It looks pretty sturdy and substantial, which is good. The maximum weight limit is apparently 125 kilos, so that's about 275. I'm 100 kilos, so 230, so well inside that. It's also got a maximum height of 6'6", 198. Not sure why, you just bend down more, don't you, if you're too tall. Right, looking at it now, it looks pretty smart actually. I keep reading reviews that call it the Tesla of scooters, and I can see why. It's all very glossy and sleek lines, really smart looking. It doesn't look like something you'd get in a toy shop, that's for sure. Okay, that's the boring bit over. Let's go test this thing. You might actually be wondering though, why would
Unagi
send me one in the first place? And also, am I actually going to have any use for it anyway? Well, to answer your first question, I have no idea whatsoever. Maybe they saw all the bicycles and thinks, this guy likes stuff with wheels. Who knows? Who cares? As for am I going to have a use for it? Absolutely. I was thinking about getting one over Christmas. My gym is a short walk away and it's all smooth pavement to get there pretty much. And this would be perfect for that. It's a bit lazy because walking there is not too bad. It only takes 7 or 8 minutes. But it would be nice, especially on a hard legs day, to just jump on this and whiz home. Also, I could use this for my kid to film me when we do my fast time trial runs. Where we go to do those is a business park where it's nice, it's flat, it's quiet at the weekend, but it's a couple of miles away. And so he has to ride his bike there, and I have to then run there or drive and meet him. This would be way quicker. We could just throw this in the car, drive down there, jump out, and we're good to go. So that leaves me with 2 questions that I need answering today. How is this thing really with a 100 kilo man on it? It has to affect its performance, but by how much? How is it with my 14-year-old on it? Can it whiz along and keep up with me doing, say, a 1 mile time trial? And in the WhatsApp family group, Jenna wants to know how easy is it to ride. My mother wants to know if she can lock it up outside Waitrose in Twyford. And my other kids want to know, in fact, forget that. Everyone laughs at the old man doing YouTube until the free stuff starts rolling in, and then suddenly everyone's got questions. At this point I have one question. Am I going to get this bloody thing back? Jen is a pretty experienced motorcyclist and has ridden over mountains and over deserts, but do not be fooled, she's fallen off every 2-wheeled vehicle she's ever sat on. but not this yet, so it does look pretty easy to ride. And it was easy. Push off, hit the throttle, look where you're going. Super simple. There are 3 speed settings. We didn't bother with that. We simply put it in the top speed mode and also the dual motor mode. You can run it with just one motor running. We found that the throttle was so responsive that we could run it with dual motor, top speed modes on, and just control it off the throttle as slow or as fast as we liked. And the controls cannot be much simpler. Throttle on the right, electronic brake on the left. And that electronic brake is so good that I found myself using the foot brake more for cornering when I didn't need such braking force. And that's with 100 kilograms on it. With Jen on it, much lighter, stops much quicker. If she hit that brake hard, the electronic brake, it would be stopping as quick as you'd want. In fact, any more abrupt and it would be borderline dangerous. So talking of 100 kilograms being on it, what did that do to the performance? So I stuck my Garmin on there with a decent GPS unit in it to get an exact miles per hour reading, and we tested the claims. So first with Jen, flat road, smooth surface. Jen's about 120 pounds, so that's 55 kilos, and she got up to 28 kilometers per hour. That's 17.5 miles per hour. Pretty good. And then me, and I got up to exactly the same speed. The only difference was that Jen got there much quicker, and she would stay there despite corners and gentle hills. I found that I would cruise around at about 21, 22 kilometers per hour. It's about 12, 13 miles an hour, and only if I had a long, flat stretch of road would it slowly edge up to that 17.5 mile an hour top end. And to be fair, on residential roads like we have around here, that is perfectly acceptable. So it goes great on nice smooth surfaces, but my concern was what would it be like with these hard rubber tyres on rougher terrain. My worry was that with no ability to absorb bumps other than these, it would be a bit too harsh. And it is sort of. On this gravel track section here, it still flies along, but you wouldn't want to be doing more than a few minutes on this surface before you got fed up with the vibrations. For me though, that's fine. All I want to know is that I can leave the path, cut a corner maybe, or go past someone, and it's able to do it. And it certainly is. This is me coming back from the gym, and you can see it easily hops onto the grass, goes up and over that raised section, and again, it's doing that with a lot of weight on board. So is it fast enough for my kid to film me when I'm running? Absolutely, no problem at all. He will easily keep up with me. We're going to whack a couple of GoPros on there. It's going to be perfect. And it's ideal for me to go to the gym on. To replace that walk with something that is more fun and quicker is going to be brilliant. I can't wait to start going there every morning. What else? It's incredibly easy to lug about. The folding mechanism is one touch, it feels rock solid, and the main tube is contoured in the middle, so it's really comfortable to hold. For example, if I was popping down the shops on this to get a pint of milk or something, I'd happily just fold it down and carry it around with me rather than bothering to lock it up outside. Having said that, it is 12 kilograms. Now that's a lot lighter than some models, but it's still 12 kilograms. So it depends on how heavy that is for you. If you're 90 years old and a bit frail, you might not want to haul it around Asda. So would I buy one? Yeah, I probably would. It is certainly a very good alternative to walking. It will more than halve those journeys at least. Is it an alternative to cycling though, which is really the most obvious comparison? Maybe. When you look at the price of an e-bike, it's actually a pretty cheap comparison. My kid rides a bottom end e-bike to school, and that's still £2,000 worth. My e-bike is a carbon one with full suspension, cost about 7 times what the scooter costs. So yeah, I think if your journey can be done on the scooter is going to win a lot of the time. If you commute a long way on a bike over rough ground, maybe keep the bike. But if your commute is a couple of miles down the road, this is the price of a regular bike, let alone an e-bike. It requires no maintenance, super easy to store when you get where you're going, and unlike a UK legal e-bike, you don't have to pedal at all. So in the summer, if you want to arrive wherever you're going without needing a shower, I'm taking this. Which brings me to the legality of these. In the UK, they aren't. Well, you can ride them in private, so effectively you can ride it around your backyard and you won't get arrested for doing so. How likely are you to get in trouble for riding it outside on public roads? That depends. I would like to think that if you are sensible and discreet and a little bit lucky, you could ride past a policeman and they would probably have better things to do. The laws on these things at the moment are stupid. The road outside my house is technically a 30-mile-an-hour limit. 30 miles an hour would be way too fast to drive past there, but it would be legal. I could get my TT bike down, clip into it, unable to steer the thing properly, ride past my house at 30 miles an hour, be very dangerous. I could do it perfectly legally though. I could stick my kid in my car that would do 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds, get him insured on it, and drive past the house at 30 miles an hour. That would be incredibly dangerous, but perfectly legal. This, lights, front and rear, going at a speed that I could run at, that's illegal. Now there are people that will say, hang on, if these were all legal, there'd be an explosion in the number of accidents. Clearly more of anything will mean more accidents with that thing. But in contrast to the 25,000 people that are seriously hurt on the roads every year, I'd imagine that the numbers will be quite small. And to be honest, I'd rather be hit by one of these than a car. What the government need to do is fix legislation. There are clearly some concerns that people rightfully have, people being able to buy ones that go stupidly quick, but that's about good legislation, not just banning everything. Bottom line, if you ride an electric scooter on the road at the moment, you're taking a degree of risk because you shouldn't be doing that, which actually is where the Unagi is probably where I'd put my money if I was spending my own on it. There are cheaper versions, there are ones that go faster and further, but there's nothing that looks quite like this. All the Tesla comparisons are very apt. It's incredibly sleek and minimalist looking. Apart from the couple of wires here, you wouldn't even necessarily know it was a powered scooter. In fact, a couple of neighbours that saw me out on it today said, is it an electric one? Now, if the law allowed you to ride any of the scooters that are on the market at the moment, I'd go for one of the rugged looking versions with suspension and bigger tyres and 30-mile-an-hour speeds. But they look substantial because they look like a vehicle. And you ride that past the wrong neighbour every day, or the police once too often, and someone's likely to voice their disapproval. But this could actually be just a regular push scooter. Is it going to fool anyone? No, that's not the point I'm making. It just has a look that is a bit subtler. It is less in your face than some of the other models out there. And for the people who are easily offended by things that might have a slightly antisocial appearance, this is probably least likely to annoy them. At the moment, given the legislation, that might be no bad thing. So yeah, I think I'd buy one. And while it's not exactly the model I'd want to be buying, it's the model I'd be most comfortable riding around on. And to be honest, I wouldn't be allowed one of the big rugged ones anyway because Jen thinks they look stupid and she thinks this looks very cool. So huge thank you to Unagi for hooking me up with this. Very much appreciated, guys. If I'd spent my own money on it, I'd be very, very happy with it indeed. Luckily, I'm not just someone that puts videos on YouTube, I'm a YouTuber, so I didn't need to. If you're a normal person, jump on their website, check them out. They've even got a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked policy, which on an outdoor vehicle seems pretty much unheard of, so good stuff from them. Last of all, if you live near Waitrose in Twyford and you see my mum, stay out of her way.
Very nice. I want one.